This episode of April and Jay Have No Ideas is brought to you by the Misconnection section of Craigslist, because our local high school wouldn't let us take out an ad in the back of the yearbook.
Looking for fun, Central Islip. Looking for men who like to have fun with a strap on. If you're interested, hit me up and let me know. 3 thumbs up emojis. Posted 6 days ago. Hi, I'm April.
And I'm Jay, and we have no ideas. We're going to dive right in here, folks, because April just finished watching Walking Dead. So if you haven't seen this episode, this week's episode, you might want to skip this part, and we'll put the description in. So that being said, you're getting into spoiler territory. April, thoughts?
Okay, so I had my notepad open. So I'm just going to go through the whole episode as if I was going to text you, because these are all things that I would have texted you. So Negan talking to Gabriel.
Just messing with him?
Just messing with him. But that leads to the question, was she talking about her feelings for Eugene?
Right, I forgot about that because that was a few episodes ago. Yep.
Okay.
Could be.
Why is there such distrust between Hilltop and Michonne?
So, I've been led to believe, in reading through some of the internet stuff, that the rift between Michonne and Hilltop, or in this case, Michonne and Daryl,
fucking everybody.
Hilltop. No. Daryl and Michonne and Hilltop and Alexandria has to do with those X-shaped scars. And to quote Michael Cutlass, you will find out why those are there. And boy, is it fucked up.
Okay.
So the story between the rift and the scars are attached, and apparently it's super fucked up.
Okay.
Like, really fucked up.
Okay. Which then leads to, why are they so militant at Hilltop? What the fuck is their problem with Michonne?
Mm-hmm.
RJ equals Rick Jr.?
I don't think necessarily, but maybe.
Okay.
It could very well be.
What is this fair?
They're throwing like a fair. They're just having like a spring fair or whatever. Like an old school style, like harvest fair kind of thing.
Okay, everybody's like super like up in arms about it.
Because I think the kingdom's the only place that thinks it's important to like actually do this. It's like something from the old world to really like, reconnect, and everybody's like, no, that's stupid, fucking fair, fuck you.
Okay. Which then goes further on to, why is Michonne such a bitch? Why is she so against working with the other communities?
We'll find out.
I needed a chair. That fucking chair right there. It's so low. You take my chair for a second. So this is obviously, I'm going through the episode. When are Jesus and Aaron gonna bone?
Never.
What happened? Why do they all hate each other? That just kept...
You literally asked the same question over and over again.
I know. I fucking love Negan, and the fact that he's pushing Gabriel's buttons just makes me laugh. The Hilltop kids seem like bad influences, or they're gonna fuck Henry over. Are they mad about Negan still? Maggie didn't kill him either. 39 minutes in, and this is pretty anticlimactic. Eugene and his colonial ponytail is ridiculous. Is this entire herd whisperers? Where did these kids get this booze? Are they moonshiners? These kids are bad news bears. Just like I thought, and now drunk dumb Henry is stuck in a hole. Who forgot to lock the door? Followed by Negan. Stupid Henry.
Who is out, by the way.
Yes. This dog is trained really well.
That's Norman Reedus' dog.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. That's his dog.
Where did this spooky graveyard come from, and why have we never seen it before? Also, why aren't we seeing the reanimated corpses of our founding fathers, considering where this takes place? And then, Jesus, no. No! Resurrect! Come on, Jesus, rise!
He's got a couple days.
True. He does have a couple
was an
days.
Instant.
But I'm heartbroken.
So I will say, I don't know if you saw, there was an interview with Tom Paine.
Yup.
And his comment was, I've been on the show for 3 years and I was kind of getting a bit stale. And I was ready to go anyway, he admits. So when I got the call, it was just more about how it was going to happen. I said to Angela, if he's going to get killed, then it has to be by a lot of people because he's like the most capable fighter out of anyone. But then what the idea that they came up with was actually really cool. I'm happy because I had a really nice, really fun beginning and a really cool end. Yeah, I guess he and it's their fault. He got bored with the character.
Yeah.
He got bored, and I don't disagree with him. They should have utilized him a lot better. That character could have been much better. So he got bored and he didn't want to be on the show anymore. And they probably knew that, and they probably figured, oh, well, the hell with it. We'll get rid of him.
Yeah.
So he was underutilized.
Hold that thought. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, I'm super bummed because, like, come on, he's all that's left now is Norman Reedus. If Norman Reedus dies on the show,
what do you mean all that's left is Norman Reedus?
Of my favorites, besides Negan, but I mean, you know,
yeah, what'd you think of that? What'd you think of that scene at the end where he walks back into fucking what's it called?
Well, that was a preview for next season.
I don't know how I feel about that. So they're definitely diverging from the comics now.
Well, they have to because Rick is dead, Jesus is dead, Carl is dead.
True.
You know, so him fighting against the Whisperers.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So what were we saying? Sorry, we've had to pause the episode like 3 times, guys. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'm very upset with the fact that, you know, he's gone.
Right.
'Cause it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with the story now. I mean, obviously they're going to tell the story with the Whisperers.
Yep.
But, you know, we're missing Rick. We're missing, unless Negan's going to go against the Whisperers, you know, like he does in the comics.
Yeah.
I rewound it twice. What was the guy saying as he stabbed Jesus? It was something like, you're where you don't belong.
Yeah, you're where you don't belong.
Okay. Which I thought the Whisperers...
In the comics, they're very territorial, so it could have something to do with that.
Okay. But at the same time, I thought that they were, like, kind of a... Well, no, I guess I wouldn't say peaceful, because they're big into rape. Which is why I think that Negan is going to fight against them, because Negan is very much against raping.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited, because Ryan Hurst is going to be playing Beta, and I fucking love Ryan Hurst. So, I'm very excited that, you know, he's coming to the show.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
I just hope that he, you know, they actually take his mask off and utilize his beautiful, beautiful face.
Oh, God.
He's also he's a fantastic actor as well.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see how it works out. I saw a movie this weekend.
I did too, but not the same one.
And it was disappointing. I saw WreckIt Ralph 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a bummer.
Was it? I mean, why was the bummer? Just because...
So, the first one, I don't know. The first one was so good because of this nostalgia of the old games and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously because this one was more internet focused, it was more internet focused.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the jokes and all the stuff was about internet type stuff.
Okay.
So it just didn't have the same feel to it. Like I was looking for the nostalgia of old video game characters and stuff, and it didn't have that. It was okay. Like it had some funny stuff. They threw in a lot of modern stuff. There was a lot of Disney nonsense, Marvel nonsense, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had the whole big thing with all the Disney princesses. That was actually pretty. That was the best part of the movie.
Was the Disney princess stuff?
Oh my god, it was so funny. So one of the big gags, once she explains who she is and stuff, they are commenting on her clothes, how she's wearing like a hoodie and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all wearing like their stereotypical gowns and stuff. So at one point they all change into like comfy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And some of their outfits were so fucking funny. So Ariel was wearing a shirt. You know those Anne shirts where it's like 4 or 5 words. It says something Anne, something Anne, something Anne. Something. Hers said like gizmos and who's its and what's its. So like it was all those. Belle was wearing a shirt that had a silhouette of the beast and it said my BFF. It says BFF, best beast. I don't know. I forget what it said underneath it. Moana was wearing a T-shirt that had this snail, weird crab snail thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it said #shiny. Jasmine had a shirt on with like the genie's hand holding up a 3 like that.
Yep.
And there was one other one I wrote it down. Oh, Cinderella had a shirt on that said like it was the carriage and it said G2G.
So gotta go. Gotta go. No, got to go.
Gotta go. Or,
yeah.
And then like Mulan wore like a jacket, almost like what's her name from Iron Fist.
Uh huh.
She wore like that red dragon jacket. Like it was just funny. Like
okay.
It was a good scene. I won't go through all of them, but and it was just funny in general. Like they completely riffed on the fact that these women were like helpless and ridiculous. And then they got into like, I think Ariel started singing a song and like, the spotlight came on her and all this. And she was like, whoa, what the hell was that? And she goes, what? She was singing a song. And she's like, yeah, but you guys, there was like music and a spotlight and like, what the hell? And they were like, yeah, oh yeah, when you're a princess, you get your own song and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, I want a song. And she's like, they're like, oh, you gotta look contemplative into water. And she's like, what? Yeah. She's like, yeah, you gotta find your water. And Snow White's like, I looked in a wishing well. And Moana's like, I looked in the ocean. And like they go on and on and on. And like so there was a lot of jokes like that, and they were going on and on about it.
Okay.
But like I said, otherwise it was okay. I'm trying to think of some of the funny stuff. Like they didn't really add any new characters. Like I said, old school video game characters. They did add Sonic the Hedgehog this time, and it was the guy who voiced him in one of the older cartoons. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of funny, but it was like the same villains from last time.
Was Felix in it? Felix
was in it. What's her name was in it? His wife now.
Yep.
So it was just disappointing. It wasn't what I hoped it was going to be.
Okay. I'll probably wait till it comes out on demand.
Yeah, I would say.
Because there's a lot of movies out that I want to see, and I wanted to see it, but you're not the only person that I heard that from that it was disappointing. I forget, somebody else said it too, and I forget who it was.
Yeah.
I saw Creed 2.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. For a person like me who doesn't particularly like the Rocky movies.
I don't care for them either.
I didn't mind Rocky Balboa. I thought that was decent. I liked the first Creed. Because I like it's a fresher take on it. And Creed 2 was really good. Of the Rocky movies, I enjoy Rocky 4 because I like Ivan Drago. So it was really interesting to see, because a lot of the movie that they did, it was kind of like you saw what Ivan Drago was doing as you saw what Adonis Creed was doing. So there was a lot of parallel stuff. So when it got to like the big fight, you know, it didn't just follow Adonis and there was, you know, like this villain. Like you got his story. You understood what Ivan Drago was fighting for. You understood his motivation for it, to bring honor back to his family name and whatnot. You know, so you kind of saw, he was almost sympathetic to kind of see why he was doing what he was doing, and, you know, how he was forced into the life that he was forced into. So it was, I mean, it was good. I got pretty teary-eyed at the end of the movie.
Surprise.
Shut up. And Tessa Thompson is just, I love her and everything. So, you know, she plays his girlfriend, fiance, baby mama. You know, so she provides a nice emotional, you know, connection to the film as well. It was good. I mean, it was enjoyable. I almost didn't go see it. I almost went and saw WreckIt Ralph while EJ saw it.
Yeah.
But I decided I would just go see it with him. So, one of my students saw Robin Hood this weekend, and he said it was really good.
I heard it was one of the biggest bombs of the year.
Really? Like, money-wise?
Yeah, like it's a bomb.
See, my student said it was really good. He really enjoyed it. But, again, that'll be another one that I'll probably, you know, watch.
Yeah.
When it comes out on demand.
Oh, I'll watch it when it's like on HBO. For part of the premium package.
Yeah, that was me last night. I'm like, I don't really know. I have a million things I can watch. I know what I'll watch. I'll finally finish the 50 Shades movies because the last one was on HBO.
Because why wouldn't you just watch garbage?
Given the source material, it's not. I mean, it's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. They're not good movies.
Please.
They're not good movies.
Try.
They're not. Given the source material, it was an okay way to spend an hour and a half. We'll put it that way.
Please stop trying to defend this. Can't stand it.
But hey, I am all caught up on The Flash.
Well, whoop-de-doo. What do you think so far this season?
I think Nora is fucking annoying. She's the worst parts of Barry and Iris.
Well, she's a little kid.
She's not a little kid. She's like 25. 30.
She's not.
Yes.
She's not supposed to be that old.
Okay. She was already born when Barry disappeared. Or when the Flash disappears. Okay?
Yeah.
And then projects 25 years later, the Flash is still missing. So she's at least 25, probably closer to 30.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. I did like the last season. You know, once I sat down and started watching it, I enjoyed last season.
I mean, I think they did a good job with it last season because the stakes felt really, really high.
Yes.
For a change, like you had no idea how it was going to end up.
Yeah.
This season's kind of going the same way so far, I think.
I don't feel like the stakes are that high yet.
I mean, not yet, yeah.
I do like the addition of Chris Klein as the new bad guy.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm not a fan of this version of Wells.
Oh, he's so obnoxious. I'm waiting for him to like drop the accent and be like, okay, I was faking the accent.
I want Harry back.
But it's not, he's not facing the accent and it's like, or he's not faking the accent. And I'm like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, I want Harry back.
Please stop.
Because I'm not a big fan of this Sherlock guy.
Yeah, whatever the hell he calls himself. Yeah, it's so obnoxious.
The Killer Frost angle is very interesting.
Yeah, with her father.
And finding out that she's pretty much always been a meta.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm liking where they're going with this. They have to change the future somehow.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
With Flash disappearing.
But I'm kind of happy they're still holding on to that Flash disappears in Crisis.
From season 1.
So they're going to do Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is going to be amazing. I bet you that's the last crossover they ever do.
Okay.
And speaking of crossovers, you like that segue?
It's a nice segue.
Did you see the big trailer for the crossover with the monitor and everything?
No, I haven't.
So it was on during Supergirl last night, and they showed like a lot of what's going to happen. They showed the villain who's going to be who's the Monitor.
Okay.
And like, there's this scientist, and he's basically got the power to rewrite reality, and that's why they get like changed. And I mean, it looks amazing.
Superman gets the black suit.
Superman gets the black suit, and like, so here's the thing. Like, so we know we got Batgirl. We know we're going to see Gotham.
Yep.
But they're actually finally referencing Batman.
They mentioned
They say something about Batman. Like, I thought Batman was just a legend.
Well, it was... I'm trying to think, because I watched most of... I caught up...
What the hell are they waiting for?
I caught up on most of it, on most of this current season of The Flash yesterday. I think I watched all the episodes yesterday. So it was the episode...
It was the last episode. You're talking about when they were in the research lab and he said he dropped the name Victor Freeze?
Nope. It was the one before that, where he had the architect in his office talking on the phone. It was just some throwaway line about Gotham City and building building in Gotham City. So I like that they have been referencing.
I mean, I think they're setting up for Batgirl, not Batman, but it sounds like in the crossover they're literally going to say, "Oh, Batman, blah 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 blah, Batman,"
which is fine. I'm waiting for them to announce the Superman TV show
with Tyler.
Yeah, only because he's just this. He seems to be.
I think it's already in progress.
Well liked.
I think it's already in progress, and I'll tell you why. Because they are bringing Lex to Supergirl this season, and they already have their actor cast and everything.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw who they cast. Kind of interesting.
Okay, Supergirl.
They cast John Cryer. It's interesting though because over the last couple of years he's begun shaving his head. He didn't shave his head for this role. He's had a bald head for like the past 6 years.
Which is interesting because
I think he could be kind of maniacal. I think he's a decent actor. I didn't care for him on 2.5 Men, but I think he's a decent actor.
I'm just thinking age-wise, because I guess it depends, because you've got Smallville where...
He's about the same age as Tyler.
No, he's not.
Well, no.
John Cryer is like as old as my mom.
He can play the same age, roughly the same age as Tyler. I think he could play 30s, 40s.
How old is John Cryer? Because
he's got to be in his 50s or 60s, but I think he could play...
He was a member of the Brat Pack. He was born in 1965, so he's 53 years old.
I think he looks a little younger than 53, though.
And Tyler Hoechlin is 31.
Yeah, I think he could play in his 40s at least. But needless to say, I think he's a good pick. I'm interested to see how he plays. Because let's be honest, if he doesn't play well, it's a couple episodes and he's done. They send him back to jail, quote unquote.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, here we go. New report says Superman may get his own CW series after all. According to Screen Geek and Screen Rant, Superman TV show is reportedly in development at the CW.
I just think it's too much with Supergirl. I think it'll overshadow Supergirl, and that's not fair.
Oh, apparently another website says that it's a fake rumor.
I honestly don't think they're going to do it. I think they wouldn't have Superman and Supergirl on the same network. I think if they really wanted to, they would just make Tyler a full-time and then just have literally like change the name of the show or just have him as a secondary character, but he's there all the time.
I mean, they're introducing Lois Lane. I mean, they're giving him a story.
They're bringing him in. I think you're going to see him more often.
Well, I haven't watched any of Supergirl since mid last season, so I'm probably going to need to catch up. Although
you're probably going to want to be caught up on everything before Elseworlds.
Although I don't know, because like they flipped the script with Elseworlds, I don't know if I really need to be caught up with Supergirl.
I would. Given what's going on this season, I would.
Okay, well then I'll have to talk to EJ and see if that's a show he wants to catch up on, or if I should just move on ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm caught up with everything else. Actually, no, I'm not caught up on Legends that I need to catch up on.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Because they specifically said 3-night event, not 3 shows, so it's probably going to cover.
Legends aren't going to be a part of it this time.
They're not?
Mm-mm.
That stinks.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that they did that.
From what I hear, the whole team's not gonna be part of it this time.
Okay. Well, in that case, it's still gonna cover, the other 3 shows.
The gamut, if you will.
Well, it's not gonna run the gamut because it's not getting the 4th show.
Well, most of the gamut.
Okay.
So moving on. We do have a topic this week.
We do.
As you know, there are a plethora of podcasts out there. And I would say within the past couple of years, one of the most popular types has become what would you call it, the serial drama?
Yeah.
Or the docudrama podcasts?
No, because you've got when I think of like the docudrama, I think of more of like the actual like documentary type podcast, like Serial. I would say more the serialized fiction podcasts.
Serialized fiction, okay. And I think, I know you and I share a couple that we listen to.
We do, although I'm way behind on one of them.
One of which that you're caught up on, and I'm not caught up this week, so I don't want to talk about this week's episode, but if anybody out there has ever heard of the podcast Limetown, Limetown came about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
It was like...
It was quite a while ago.
It's been a minute. Let's see, so Limetown... I'm excited for the TV show.
I don't know how I feel. Well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But yeah, so Limetown originated, I want to say, in 2016.
July 2015.
I was 1 year off. So
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, so the first season came out in 2015, and to give you a basic gist without giving too much away. So Limetown is the name of a town that back in the 50s or the 60s, or was it earlier than that? Was it the 80s?
Um.
Well, it doesn't matter. So a time period previous to ours, there was a town called Limetown, and one evening, all of its couple hundred residents just disappeared, never to be seen or heard from again.
Limetown is a fictional story told as a series of investigative reports by Leah Haddock, a journalist for American Public Radio, detailing the disappearance of over 300 people at a neuroscience research facility in Tennessee.
What she said. So yeah, the first season kind of follows her through interviews, and it's tense and it's wonderful and it's intriguing, and the twists and turns, and it's got quite the twists towards the end. So they finally got around to making a second season, which started maybe a month ago or so.
October 30th.
It's been very different but very awesome. I've been enjoying it, and the way they've been releasing it is actually pretty cool too. They have been releasing full episodes, and then in between those episodes, they release 3 or 4 minute recordings.
Yep. Random
tape recordings of all different random things. Again, I won't give anything away. You really should go and this. I feel like this podcast could be ruined if you know anything too much going into it.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're very clever, and I guess it was so popular that 1, they got pulled back for a second season. 2, they wrote a novel based on the source material. And 3, they're going to be making a show through Facebook Watch, I believe.
Is that what it's? Yes.
Is it Facebook Watch? So basically Facebook, and it's going to be an episodic version of the podcast, and Jessica Biel has signed up to play the lead.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy. I'm not a huge Jessica Biel fan, but I mean, she's still a pretty big name actor, so it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big budget, or a pretty good budget.
I don't hate it, because I think given, and I haven't watched the show that she did, she had that like suspenseful USA TV show last year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I think I think she's a decent actor.
No, yeah. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I think she's decent. She's not one of my favorite, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah,
I pictured Leah Haddock younger. That was my only thing.
No, I pictured her about that age.
Okay, I pictured her like in her 20s. So it was 10 years ago is when everyone disappeared.
10 years. Okay, so that's a really good one. Another one I listened to, I think this is the one you were talking about, you're not caught up on, is a podcast called Tanis.
Yeah.
So Tanis is in its 4th season.
Yeah, I'm 2 seasons behind.
And Tanis is a fucking crazy mind fuck of a podcast. So basically it follows a similar to Limetown, investigative person named Nick Silver.
Yep.
Who is basically investigating the idea or the concept of Tanis, which is, how does he explain it? It's just like almost like an interdimensional gateway world, another world. It's very interesting. Very, very rooted in mythology, modern mythology. There'll be a lot of things that you will, if you're into that kind of stuff, you will recognize. They fold a lot of true stuff into it, which almost at certain points makes you wonder if it's actually real, even though it's not. Mm-hmm. Fictional or not fictional, historical characters like Aleister Crowley and like it's insane. The amount of detail put into this podcast is insane. To pull in, Nikola Tesla's and just Ben Franklin and all these and don't get me wrong, this is not a historical podcast by any means, but they use the strange and the weird, from history and little bits and pieces of stories to fold into their own larger world, and it's just insane. It's insane.
Okay, so the synopsis for the listeners. Nick Silver, a former radio host, discovers references to something called Tanis in two disparate sources. He begins hosting the podcast in an effort to determine what and where Tanis may be, quickly enlisting the help of an information specialist known via the username Mere Catnip. Silver comes to believe that Tanis is currently somewhere in the Puget Sound area. His search, aided with information provided by Mere Catnip, leads him to confront a variety of mysterious groups and organizations. Tesla Nova Corporation, a group Silver calls the Cult of Tanis, and a group known as the Grackles.
Yeah, that's about all the information I would give out.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're in like 4 seasons already. The episodes are nice and long. It's not without its flaws. There are certain things about it that drive me a little nuts. Having listened to it for so long and knowing it, they rely a lot on their editing style. Long pauses between segments, the music. It kind of drives me a little crazy after a while, but it doesn't ruin the experience. So those are 2 I think of right off the top of my head. I know you listen to some other ones that you probably want to talk about.
Well, I listened to the sister show of Tanis called The Black Tapes.
Okay.
And so
I never listened to it.
So
you kept telling me to, but I never have.
Nick Silver is the producer on The Black Tapes. So he pops up quite a bit. And so there's 3 seasons of The Black Tapes, and it ended in November of 2017. However, the show ended on a cliffhanger, and the creators stated that was the end. Then on March 20th, 2018, on the official Twitter account for The Black Tapes, it was announced that the show would return for another season. I'm behind. I've got 2 episodes of The Black Tapes left. So this is another serialized. It's very similar to Tanis, and it's by the same company, Pacific Northwest Stories. It's hosted by Alex Regan. The series is produced by Nick. Regan narrates a nonfiction-styled fictional story over multiple episodes, using the format that's been compared to Serial. Story begins as a biography of a paranormal investigator, Dr. Richard Strand, an evangelical skeptic on a mission to debunk all claims of the supernatural. Alex becomes interested in his collection of unsolved cases, which she becomes calling his Black Tapes. The podcast evolves into the exploration of these cases, paranormal culture, and the mysterious life of Dr. Strand. It's fairly creepy.
Okay.
I don't tend to get, scared or weirded out. Like this one creeps me out. Just because it has there's some stuff about demonic possession. And again, they bring in, historical characters as well. A lot of it having to do with Pythagoras and the Pythagorean theorem. Hey, knock it off. And they're long episodes, 35 to 50 minutes or so. But it's another one that, if you like Tanis, you'd like The Black Tapes. I forget, did I get you into Limetown?
I believe you did.
It's because it started around the same time too. It's 2015. It's a very. I don't want to give too much away with this either. It's creepy. It really is. It's there's a lot of paranormal stuff. They talk about they use music a lot as part of this as well.
I feel like in all of their podcasts they do that.
But this one has to deal with there's a sound that can cause people to die. They call it the unsound.
Right.
But it
gotcha.
has to do with a lot of it has to do with like Pythagoras and like this cult that's involved with it. It's very it can be very disconcerting.
Yeah.
And then so and I'm probably not explaining it great because it's one of those ones that I can't really say too much about without giving things away.
No, I gotcha.
And the storytelling is so great that it's hard to not reveal anything.
No, absolutely, and to go along with that too, they have one more podcast, and I don't know if you've listened to this one, but the same company, they do a podcast known as Rabbits.
I listened to the first episode, just never got a chance to get back into it.
And that one, so the synopsis they give on their website: when Carly Parker's friend Yumiko goes missing under very mysterious circumstances, Carly's search for her friend leads her headfirst into an ancient mysterious game known only as Rabbits. Soon, Carly begins to suspect that Rabbits is much more than just a game, and that the key to understanding Rabbits might be the key to the survival of our species and the universe as we know it. This one's kind of cool too. It's got some sci-fi wrapped in it. It talks a lot about old school arcade games and stuff like that, and arcades and that kind of stuff, fits into it. But again, because it's by the same company, they do a great job of taking things from the real world and folding them into their storytelling. So basically anything from Pacific Northwest Stories is worth checking out.
I think they've got a new one coming out too.
Yeah, The Last Theater or something. I don't know. I know Rabbits attempted to get a second season on Kickstarter, and they did not meet their goal. So I don't know if we're going to even see a second season at this point, which is a shame because it was really good.
Interesting. I'm looking at their website right now, the Pacific Northwest Stories Podcast Network. Our shows.
And I know you have another one that you've listened to for a long time.
My Dad Wrote a Porno?
Nope, not that one.
What one?
That's not fictional, is it? Isn't that just stories?
No, it's fictional.
Oh.
Which I was going to discuss anyways, but which one are you talking about?
Night Vale. Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh my god, I stopped listening to Night Vale like years ago.
I know, but you listened to it.
I did listen to it. That's what got me into everything else was Welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it.
Oh, well, okay, fine. Let's see. So, Welcome to Night Vale. And it's been around, Jesus. I was still doing background investigation, so we're talking 20.
I'd be willing to say it's one of the first of its kind.
Probably is the first of its kind. Let's see. They've changed it. It's now twice monthly. They used to release episodes like every single week, often multiple times a week.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's why I stopped listening to it, because I got such a fucking backlog of it. So it's in the style of...
That was more sarcastic about our podcast, but
no, I know. We have a hard time releasing on time every week.
You don't have to say we, you can say you.
No, it's both of us.
It's mostly me, but go ahead.
It's a twice monthly podcast in the style of community updates for the small desert town of Night Vale. And it's, so the announcer, his name is Cecil, and it's a sleepy town in a desert somewhere. And he does like local weather, but like the weather's always like some crazy ass song. He does like news announcements from the sheriff, secret police, mysterious lights in the night sky, dark hooded figures with unknowable powers, and cultural events. It's actually quite amusing. There's parts that I have to skip just because I don't want to listen to some obscure song that somebody just playing the keyboard, and singing. It's weird. But it's got a crazy, crazy following. That's just, it's been going on for forever.
Since 2012.
Is that when it started, 2012?
136 episodes, 5 live, 5 bonus.
Okay.
Its original release was June 15th, 2012.
Okay. That's about the time I started listening to it. New to Night Vale. Here's their... But it's cool because they've got... There's also novels. There's 2 novels. And they have a brand new recap show called Good Morning Night Vale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool podcast. It's just it got way too involved, and my commute became really short, so it became too hard to keep up with it. But I listened to it. I did listen to it for probably a good year, and they, I believe, also gave birth to Alice Isn't Dead.
Yes, which I listened to.
I listened to the first season, part of the second season.
Which was written by the guy from Night Vale, Joseph Fink?
Yes.
But his name isn't really Joseph Fink, though, either, I don't think.
Okay.
Isn't that like a made-up name?
Probably.
I feel like his name's like Jeffrey something. Anyway.
So talk to us about Alice Isn't Dead.
Alice Isn't Dead is an interesting one, too. A bit paranormal, a bit supernatural. It follows this woman named... God, I feel awful about it. It follows... I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. Sorry, the awkward pause. So Wikipedia, I'm going to go with Wikipedia's explanation. It is presented as a series of audio diaries by a truck driver in her search across America for the wife she had long assumed was dead, Alice. In the course of her search, she encounters not quite human serial murderers, towns literally lost in time, and a conspiracy that goes way beyond her missing wife. So yeah, it's interesting because it's, like I said, a lot of it almost sounds like somebody talking on a CB radio.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't listened to it in a while too, so I'm like, okay. I don't remember a lot of what happens.
Okay. Well then I will go into my favorite one, which is My Dad Wrote a Porno. So imagine if your dad wrote a dirty book. Most people would try to ignore it, but not Jamie Morton. Instead, he decided to read it to the world in this groundbreaking comedy podcast. With the help of his best friends, James Cooper and Alice Levine, Jamie reads a chapter a week and discovers more about his father than he ever bargained for. So, book 4 just ended last week. And it follows the exploits of a woman in her late 20s, Belinda Blumenthal, the book starts out with her getting a job at Steele's Pots and Pans, and she's the executive sales director for Steele's Pots and Pans, and it follows her in her adventures, we'll say.
Okay.
It's a lot of sex, but it's a lot of badly written. If you didn't know that Rocky Flintstone, which is the name he goes by, the author of the book, Rocky Flintstone, If you didn't know that Rocky Flintstone had children, you would never know that Rocky Flintstone has ever had sex. Let me just, So, My Dad Wrote a Porno is self-published. You can get the books on Amazon, as ebooks. And the first book is called, where is it? Belinda Blinked 1, semicolon. A modern story of sex, erotica, and passion, semicolon. How the sexiest salesgirl in business earned her huge bonus by being the best at removing her high heels. That's the title of the book.
Crapola.
And I'm just trying to find... So I have the book 1 fully annotated edition of Belinda Blinked 1. That Jamie, Alice, and James, like, annotated chapter by page, and like just the notes that they make in the first book are ridiculous. So let me just read you just so you can understand how poorly this is written. Ready? Hope you don't mind, Missy, as I like some bear. Jim didn't hang around and immediately took her tits in his massive hands. His large thumbs tentatively rubbed her nipple tips, making them rise and harden. This fast reaction from Belinda seemed to please him, and he started to push his cock into her vagina.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of... She starts thinking about the breakfast she ate while she's having sex with this guy. Yes. It's so badly written. It's absolutely, utterly terrible. And he's written at least 5 of these that we know of. There may be more. The podcast just ended its 4th season, so we just got through the 4th book. And somewhere around the end of the 3rd book, he actually started having a plot.
Okay.
And so now we've got some corporate espionage going on as well. And that has brought us to the 4th book just ended with a major explosion, and we found out who the betrayer was, also known as the Special One. It's
oh my god.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But at the same time, it's amazing because of how bad it is.
All right, we'll have to check it out.
And it's one of those that I find myself in, because I only really listen to it like if I'm in my car driving, and I find myself laughing out loud, looking like a crazy person because I'm laughing so hard.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's got a huge following. Like, their final guest this season was fucking Dame Emma Thompson.
Really?
Who's a huge fan.
That's funny.
And she got Haley Atwell into it.
Okay.
So they had Haley Atwell on the show. Daisy Ridley is a big fan.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. I should say this is a British podcast. They've had, like, cause every week they do, so on, like, they release their episodes on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays they release like a bonus episode, oftentimes with, other people. So they've had, let's see, I don't know who, a lot of the people I don't know who they are this season that came on, but, let's see, Singer-songwriter George Ezra. Mara Wilson, like Matilda.
Yep. I know.
And she talked about also how amazing Danny DeVito is in real life. Nicholas Hoult. Ben Barnes.
It's crazy.
Elijah Wood's a huge fan.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean it's the following Rachel Bloom, Thomas Middleditch, he's a big fan.
Someday.
Dr. Tamal Ray, who was a finalist on Great British Baking Show. Michael Sheen.
What the fuck? Why can't they listen to our podcast?
Because we're not as interesting as this show, apparently.
That's true.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's... Oh, I'm sad, because now it's done until next year. And they won't come back probably till, like, next August.
My dream is to do a fictional drama type podcast, but I'm not that creative.
I know, we've been talking about that for...
We need like a couple more people on board.
Yeah.
Someday.
Maybe.
So that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to talk about. I did want to ask there's quite a few movies coming out very shortly.
Okay.
Leading into Christmas. I don't know if there's anything you're looking forward to.
I kind of have to probably refresh my memory as to what's coming out.
Well, I'm looking forward to Into the Spider-Verse.
I know you are.
Now, especially because WreckIt Ralph sucked.
Okay.
And we did get I feel like we're being teased that we may get a Avengers 4 trailer very soon.
Really?
And I heard one of the rumors is they may not release the title until right before the movie comes out.
I thought we had a title.
We never had full confirmation on what the title's actually going to be. So there's rumor that they may just call it Avengers 4 until right before it comes out.
Huh.
But within the next little while, we have Into the Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, which I'm looking forward to.
Did you ever finish the book series?
I did not finish the whole series, no. The second book was a little rough.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw, there was some Twitter reactions released for Aquaman.
I'm looking forward to it.
People genuinely enjoyed it. Some people said it was the best movie since Wonder Woman and or The Dark Knight.
Really?
They said it's bonkers, but once you get around the fact that it's bonkers, you will love it. They said it's campy, it's bonkers, and James Wan like completely embraces what Aquaman is.
Okay.
And I heard it's insane.
Okay.
Apparently, what's her name? Julie Andrews has a role in it.
She does?
Yes. I accidentally read what the role was, so I won't spoil it for you,
yeah,
but it
please
sounds
don't.
amazing.
Okay.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah, and then Mary Poppins Returns with your boy
Lin-Manuel Miranda
next month as well.
You act like I'm the only fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda I know. You're just as in love with Hamilton as I am. Are you going to see it in Connecticut? Did you get tickets?
No, because you couldn't buy tickets. You had to like apply for them.
So Ashley
and
got.
I was like, fuck that shit.
I turned down the ticket. Ashley got tickets.
Fuck you! Why? I was hoping you would do it for us.
I know. Ashley got tickets. She got 3 tickets, one for her, one for her mom, and they got an extra. And they offered me the extra ticket. But because at the time we had just found out about Penny and I won't know more about what's going on with Penny until next week. If, God forbid, the worst, is going on with Penny, I didn't want to make plans and leave Penn a week later.
Yeah.
So I turned down the ticket. Yeah, I mean, I really want to go, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's, I don't. I could have, but at this, it's just one of those. It was one of those things. I had to make a decision before I was necessarily able to. So I had to say no.
Do you have a fanfic pick this week?
Yeah. Are you upset with me now because I'm not going to see it?
No, I covered my face because I thought you were going to say, I do, because that's what you say every week.
No.
And to which I would reply, of course I know you do. That's part of this fucking show. Just tell them what it is.
It's called If We're Falling in Love by Sunfair. It's a check please comic. Yeah. There hasn't been much good fanfic lately, so at least in the stuff that I read, I haven't really found anything.
Fair enough.
So,
and there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. If you give me 1 second.
Sure.
Talk about something in the meantime.
Okay, what would you like me to talk about in the meantime?
I don't know.
Sorry. I got a visit today from a former student.
Yeah?
Yeah, he came and brought me unsweetened iced tea because I'd already had my coffee for the day, and I can't. It's so hard to have that much caffeine.
That's always nice when you get a little surprise visit.
Well, I knew he was coming. He texted me earlier in the day to see if I was going to be at work. And if I was going to be available for him to come and hang out. And so he was in my office for like an hour and a half today.
So that's what I was going to say. We got 2 new questions on Ask FM.
Okay.
And I'll pose them to you real quick, and that's how we'll end.
Okay.
So somebody asked, what's your favorite song from the 2000s? I don't know why they're not asking for advice. That's what we wanted, but whatever.
But it might also just be people randomly on Ask FM asking us questions.
Oh, that's true.
It might not even be a listener.
That's true.
My favorite song from the 2000s. Just to annoy you, it's gonna be me.
What's gonna be you?
It's gonna be me.
What's gonna be you?
In sync! It's gonna be May!
Oh, thank you for saying it properly. Favorite song from the 2000s? I don't know.
Are we talking like just the aughts, like the 2000 to 2009?
I don't know. That's what it says. 2000s. Pre-10.
2000.
Not to be confused with pretend. Before 10.
Let's see if there's. I'm gonna look and see like what the best songs, like the top 10 songs of 2000 were, to see if there's anything that I like more. Let's see.
I will say for the longest time, I have to see if this is a 2000 song though, because it might not be. It is
Mr. Brightside. That's probably one of the best songs of the 2000s.
Let me see if it was in the 2000s. This song came out in 98. Damn it, I just missed it.
What song?
Shimmer by Fuel. I used to love that song.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have a favorite song from the 2000s.
Our other Starlight by Muse. There we go.
There you go.
Or Supermassive Black Hole by Muse.
Okay. And our other question is Cheetos or Doritos?
It depends upon what kind of Cheetos.
That's what fuck those puffs.
Oh, see, I'm a fan of the puffs.
Fuck the puffs. Crunchy only.
No way. Fuck the crunch.
Fuck those puffs. Those shitty ass puffy crappy. No. Nope. You're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Everybody has an opinion, but yours is wrong.
Cool Ranch Doritos.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Or the puffy Cheetos, cheese doodles.
Why do you like the worst of everything?
What are you talking about? Cool Ranch Doritos are the superior Dorito.
Fuck you and your Cool Ranch Doritos.
Fuck you! And your basic nacho Doritos.
Your Cool Ranch Doritos and puffy Cheetos can ride out on the horse they rode in on.
No way.
Bullshit.
No way! It's not bullshit.
Fucking podcast is over.
This is gonna end our friendship.
Fucking bullshit.
Fucking Doritos and Cheetos.
I'm gonna send you 3,700 bags of crunchy Cheetos to your house.
I don't mind crunchy Cheetos, but if I'm gonna choose, it's gonna be cheese doodles.
If I lived closer and I had the money and the means, I would fill your car with Cheetos.
Listen, dude, it wouldn't bother me if you would. I like the crunchy Cheetos. I'm just saying, cheese doodles are the superior.
Fuck cheese doodles. They even have a stupid ass fucking name, cheese doodles.
The puffs are so much better. And they have like the curly puffs, and they have like the paw print puffs.
Nope.
Oh, absolutely. Also, can I just tell you that 2008 was a good year for songs?
Okay.
Even though I think she's overrated.
For example?
Single Ladies.
That's true.
Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Okay, that was a pretty good album.
This was the year Lady Gaga. So we have Just Dance and Poker Face and the entire The Fame album. We got I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. I'm Yours, Jason Mraz. Hot and Cold, Katy Perry. Kings of Leon. So we got Sex on Fire. And Use Somebody. And we've got Disturbia, Rihanna. 2009 was a good year for songs. Or 2008.
2008 or 2009?
I'm sorry, it was 2008.
Oh, God.
2008. 2009 wasn't that great.
Whatever. 2009 was the puffy Cheetos of music years.
Yeah, it really kind of was. 2009 was definitely... No, 2008 was the puffy Cheeto year. Cause
nope, you already
said
it.
Puffy Cheetos is the superior...
It's over. Podcast over.
Fuck you.
Podcast done. Transmission end.
Amazon.com. I'm going to send you 1,000 bags of puffy Cheetos.
Whatever. That's it. I'm done. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
No. So tell them where they can find us.
As always, you can find us on Facebook. April and Jay Have No Ideas. You can email us, aprilandjayhavenoideas@gmail.com. We're on the Twitterverse, A and J Have No Ideas. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, many other places you find podcasts, and of course randomchatter.com as part of the Random Chatter network of podcasts. And if you would be so kind as to leave us a voicemail, you can do so when you call the number.
God damn it, Jason.
I always forget. Every week, it never fails. 475-212-5457. Or you can go to our ask.fm page and ask for some advice or a silly question. One last side note, I would like to say congratulations to the team at NASA because the InSight successfully landed on Mars.
Yes, my husband was very excited about it and texted me this afternoon. that we landed on Mars.
And I'm very proud to say never mind, because I don't want to say where I work.
Yep. I do like the little pun that they used, by the way. I was like, they spelled it wrong. Oh wait, no they didn't. It's a joke.
They didn't.
It's a pun.
Yes. Anyway.
Well, as always, I've been April.
And I've been Jay.
And that was an idea.
Yep.
Maybe we'll be back next week. If we're still friends.
Not likely.